You were an awesome basketball player when you were in high school. What made you choose baseball over basketball going forward with your career?
Well, if you come from Indiana and you don't play basketball, they have you tested because that's what we do. All the other sports that we play, football, baseball, and all that, are done in between basketball seasons. And, I was telling some friends today that the night I graduated, there was like 10 or 12 scouts that came to my house graduation night trying to talk my mom and dad into having me sign with their ball club because there was no draft back then. And, and we were out at a graduation party. And, when I got home, my mom and dad said, the scouts were there, blah, blah, blah. And I knew that I've always wanted to play Major League Baseball, always wanted to play Major League Baseball. And I also knew that 6'3" white guys that couldn't jump very high had very little chance of playing basketball.
Your surgery, when you had it done, obviously you made it famous. It has now become a common practice. A lot of guys, a lot of pitchers between the ages of high school and now even the pros are undergoing it so much every year. What's your thoughts right now on the Tommy John surgery itself?
Well, essentially the surgery is the same that Dr. Joe did it, only back in '74, only they do it so much more efficiently now. I was in the operating room, I think it was about 2.5 hours. Now, the guys are in and out in an hour and 10 minutes or something like that, hour and 15 minutes. That's how commonplace. It's like anything else. The more you do something, the easier it becomes. But, the thing that's appalling is all these guys are coming down with surgeries. And, I think last year there were 30-some surgeries. And this year there'll be that many or more.
What led to the point of you having the surgery up? I mean, is it something that happened overnight that you just threw your elbow out and you knew that you needed to go see a doctor, or is it something that gradually progressed?
No, I was pitching for the Dodgers, and I threw one pitch, and I had this pain in my elbow like I've never had before. And I walked off the field, and I told our trainer, I said, something bad's happened. Get Dr. Job. And he went out the dugout and signaled up to Dr. Job where he was sitting in the box. And when I got to the clubhouse and I changed out of my wet uniform top and sweatshirt and stuff and got to the trainer's room, Dr. Job was there waiting for me. And, then he just examined me. And, back then there was no MRIs, but you couldn't say, well, we're going to do an MRI of the elbow because that doesn't happen.
What was the conversation like when going into the surgery? What was the diagnosis that they thought the outcome would be? Would you play again? Would you not play again? What was the likelihood that you would pitch again?
Well, he said basically that I didn't need surgery, but he said, but if you don't have it, you'll never pitch you'll never pitch again. And I wanted to pitch. And he said, well, then we'll do the surgery, but chances are you won't pitch again. And he said, simply because it's never been done before. And he said, if I gave you 50-50, I would be lying to you. And he said, so, I don't know. He said, less than 5%. He said, you may throw a pitch and, the same thing could happen to your arm again. He said, I don't know. And that year, 1976, when I was pitching, Dr. Job said every game I pitched that he was there, he fully expected me to throw a pitch and walk off the mound. But the thing is, in the 13 years I pitched after surgery, I never missed a start in 13 years.
With the Major League Baseball draft starting yesterday, I've heard a lot of scouts refer to parents and with young players like the kids that are being drafted that when their kids were younger, they took care of their child's arm. What does that mean to have a parent take care of their child's arm as far as what can you do differently when your kid's pitching in, Little League Baseball to prepare him for the majors?
Don't pitch 12 months. I think you pitch 7 months. And you pitch, you throw, you do this and that. and then 5 months you do other sports. You don't sit down and play Nintendos and video games, but you go play sports. You play soccer, you play basketball, you play football, you wrestle, you do all this. Things to get you in shape, keep you in shape to pitch baseball. But unfortunately, parents have been drawn into the trap that their little Johnny needs to play spring baseball, summer baseball, fall baseball, and then work out with the pitching coach all winter twice a week. And they end up throwing 12 months a year, and that's why you're seeing guys now breaking down with having to have Tommy John surgery.
Do you think it's crazy that if you watch some guys, especially in the majors right now, that when they go down and their elbow goes out, that the initial reaction a lot of times now is to have Tommy John surgery?
Well, I think that probably is, but the MRI will tell you whether you need it or not, and sometimes it doesn't even tell you what's there. So I think you got to, you got to look at it, and if the doctor thinks that you need the surgery, then you go in and you have it done, you rehab it, and you get yourself back on the mound, and you start pitching again. And it's about a 93% success rate now. So the odds are that you're going to be pitching down the road.
You pitched for the Indians, the White Sox, the Dodgers, my New York Yankees, the Angels, the Athletics. Of all those teams that you were part of, which was the best team that you were part of, in your opinion?
Well, talent-wise, the 82 Angels, by far. So we have Bob Boone catching, Carew at first base, Bobby Grich at second, Tim Foley, Rick Burleson at shortstop, DeCincy at third, Brian Downing in left, Freddie Lynn at center, Reggie in right, and Don Baylor DHing. And that was, if we would have had a bullpen, that ball club may have won 125 ball games. That's how good it was.
What was it like to play at Reggie?
It was fun. Reggie's okay. Reggie's a good guy. He's a good guy. He plays hard. He hustles. At least he always did for me. And, I enjoyed playing and having Reggie back at me because I knew if he messed up in the field, he's going to get 4 or 5 RBIs that game anyway. So, I'll take him out there.
I heard a story once, when I was doing some research on you, that you retired from baseball because a couple pitches you threw, Mark McGwire took you deep on a couple of them. And the interesting thing was Mark McGwire's dad was your dentist. So the comment you made was, when your dentist's son starts being able to hit off you, it's time for you to retire. Is all joke?
I said that, but that's not true.
No, I know.
I retired. I retired because no ball club would sign me.
How much longer do you think you would have kept playing for if the ball club had come a calling?
As long as I could. I kept myself in shape for 1 year, and after that didn't happen, then I said, I'm not going to get back in, so I quit working out.
When you came back from the Tommy John surgery, did you miss any starts after that?
No, never in 13 years.
That's awesome. I know you were a manager for a little while after your playing days. You did some play-by-play as well. What other capacity in baseball did you ever want to get involved to that you didn't have the chance of being involved in?
Well, I coached, I managed, I did radio and did television. I enjoyed doing radio and TV. I really like doing that because, you can sit up there, you can be a critic. You don't have to really be right on all the time. You can just be funny, tell stories, and I'm good at doing that. So it's, that was fun. Being down on the field is okay, but it's hard to manage. It's hard to coach, and when the ball clubs put all the restrictions on you that they do, this guy's got to pitch here, this guy's got to pitch there, this guy can't hit here, this guy can't do that, and it's tough. it's like managing the jigsaw puzzle. You got to put all the pieces in and then hope that everything works out right.
I got get a little advice from you. You're a lefty. My 4-year-old son, I throw righty. My wife throws righty as well. My 4-year-old son, though, has a habit of picking up his left hand. Should I keep working with him on the left hand, or should I assume he's going to naturally go to the right hand?
I would keep working with him on his left hand, because if you can be a left-handed pitcher, you don't even have to be good to be good.
That's awesome. That's exactly what I was thinking. Before we get you out of here, we always ask our guests for a last call. It's usually a shout-out to something in sports. What would Tommy John's last call be this evening?
With the draft going yesterday, today, tomorrow, I just hope that the guys that get drafted have as much fun playing baseball as I did. And there's in the minor leagues, there's maybe 180 guys in the minor leagues on these teams, and of those 180 guys, probably 10 of them will make it to the big leagues, if that. So it's a matter of which 10, and they decide. But I just hope all the players that get drafted in these 40 rounds have as much fun playing baseball as I did.
Awesome. Good stuff, Tommy John. Thank you for joining us this evening. Hopefully we'll catch up with you down the road.
Alrighty.